relationship. It is.
It is.
That's not.
But I see that this statistic is saying, I don't know how the U.S. Census like break down like widow versus just relationships. Right. But I think when she brought up epidemic, I think it's because of the divorced couple or the boyfriend and girlfriend that once were together, now they're not. Now I have kids, I got to introduce them to my girlfriend. So I think that's
or the little girl that now has an auntie.
Right.
That's living with her. I mean, let's talk about that.
Right.
That we have a lot of that.
I think it's difficult with the blended family, like especially if you're in a situation kind of like yours, DJ. Like you have your daughter, your stepdaughter, right? And then, but it sounds like you guys figured it out to be mature, right? I think a lot of the drama that comes from the adults is just they're really immature, but it comes also from they're not healed from the
what
past
happened in the
relationship. Mm-hmm. So they're using the kid, and sometimes they don't even realize how they use the children to try to hurt each other.
Yes, absolutely.
You know.
How about dating? If you are the person who's dating the person who's a single parent.
If a person's dating,
how do you do that well?
So I don't have children, I'm single, but if I hear your question right, like how...
So if you meet a guy and he has a kid.
So I do not think it's okay on any circumstance if you are a single parent and you're dating, you should not introduce your child to that person until there is something like a promise there.
Yes.
I don't think it's okay.
A promise? A promise like what?
Like a promise not to cheat.
We're gonna get married. No, like we're gonna get married.
Like this is going down a path.
Yeah, let me tell you, when in my early mid-20s, I dated this guy. He had a daughter. She was 3 years old, and I told him he wanted me to meet her. I said, you know what? I don't think it's a good idea. And at this time, we think we're in love. Blah blah blah. And I said, you know, I love children. I really do, but it's not a healthy decision for me to be a part of your daughter's life when you and I aren't even talking engagement.
Okay,
We're
so
not talking,
I can appreciate that because I had a question for you guys, which is there a threshold? And I'm gonna go on both sides. Is there a threshold when it's too early or too late to introduce a significant other to your child?
It's too early when there's no commitment.
Yeah. I would say like engagement ring, commitment, like let's date seriously.
You think that's too late?
No.
It's too
I
late.
have to agree with Julie.
Because this is a package deal, right? In a beautiful way. And so if you and like the kid don't get along at all, like that.
Well, no, you don't introduce I don't introduce my children to every man that I date. I had a shop, a salon, where men will come up there and see me, and my children will be there, and I will tell my kids, this is a friend of mine. So I want my kids to know the difference between a male friend and a boyfriend. Because you can have male friends outside of him being a boyfriend, and if you see me outside of my house, my kids know. And like, my children are older now, so they're like, "Mommy, where are you going and who you going with?"
Yeah.
So what's the threshold? I think that there can be a too late threshold, right?
And I think engagement is a too late threshold.
Julie,
to what Julie was saying, you know, I think that because you know, you're like, how do you know you're not going to get along with kids and things like that? So I think that it's a good idea if you feel that there's something serious in the relationship. Then you can introduce your children in a public setting.
Yeah,
there's
absolutely.
But one-on-one, coming to the house, staying over late night, that is not
Can
acceptable.
I ask you, did you ever deal with that situation growing up?
Absolutely, yeah. I was a child where my mom had different boyfriends, and what happens is you become emotionally attached to them, and then they leave, and where are they? But you don't realize the damage. If it's one, all it takes is two boyfriends or two girlfriends to introduce to your kid, and it can potentially damage your kid. I could have grown up thinking, you know what, I can date this guy and that guy and let them leave, and I can do all that because my mom did it.
Yes, I believe that our experiences color and shape who we are in our views, right? So clearly you had that situation, which is why I think you have a strong opinion about it. Julie, what about you? Like, what do you think about this?
I think I've watched families, it hasn't really directly affected my
Have you
life.
never dated anyone with a kid?
I have gone on dates with them, but there has not been.
Have you met their children or no? Even on, okay.
No.
So is there a threshold? I'm too early, too late.
I think so. I think that I agree with Corrine. I agree that if you are just trying to wine and dine me and get to know me, I don't need to meet little Kelly.
That's right.
Like, it's not about Kelly right now.
Yes.
It's about me and you,
Trying
you know?
to just see if we like each other.
Yeah, I want to see like if I'm gonna like you, because if I
Yeah.
like you, then I'm gonna like your kid, because that kid is going to be an extension of you.
Yes.
And you know what, too, here's the thing, too, the
Sometimes.
reality
Yes.
is, because you know what Julie said earlier, what if, maybe you and the kid don't get along? I
think there's discernment on both parts.
Well,
Yeah.
sure, but at the same time, you don't determine your relationship because of the way the kid feels about the adult. That's not.
Yeah, because the
Yeah,
kids are gonna
because-
grow up and leave.
You don't.
But here's the thing too,
Exactly.
when a blended family gets together, whoever is bringing in the children has to teach the children that, hey, when we get married,
That's what I
she's
told my
for
kids.
you.
That's what I told my kids.
So at the end of the
That's
day,
right.
Yes.
it's not like
Yes.
I gotta go with what she says because
Yes.
she was here
Kids
first.
will ruin your marriage.
No, yes,
If
it
you
will.
let them.
Now,
You're 5
here's
years old,
I absolutely agree that you shouldn't introduce your child to any Tom, Dick, and Harry. Right? I believe that. I absolutely believe that.
I agree.
I
Just
do.
to clarify,
I
I'm
we
not
all
like
agree with that.
first
My,
night.
what got me?
Here's a great night. Let's go. Here's my kid.
Let's go to Disneyland.
Yeah.
What got me was when you said an engagement or a promise, right? Because engagements don't. If you're talking about spending forever
Yeah.
with someone, that don't happen overnight, right?
It
So it
takes
could
time.
be 6 months, a year, 2 years,
Right.
3 years before you decide to get married, and you
Yeah.
think that amount of
Yes.
duration is
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, I do. I think.
So is it
I
okay?
think
What
that
if you
there's
have?
ways.
Wait, I gotta. What if you
think
have a
there's
quick
ways.
wedding? What if
You get married, engaged, all in 6 months.
and your child has known your husband for 2 months, and that's okay.
When I meet them,
But no, what I'm saying is introduce the child before in like public settings.
Yeah.
Go to gatherings together.
That's what she's
Go to-
saying. She's not saying like hide from the child.
Yeah, and
I
then all of a
get what
sudden,
you're saying.
hey, I'm your stepmom.
All right.
So what can
right.
we do though
No.
to help blended families bond, right? And we think about blended families because the reality is like I just said, pretty soon I'll be entering into the dating world, right? And if I meet someone, like I don't want to have my guard up because little Kelly's there. You know what I'm saying? Then on the flip side, I know that, there are men out there that still don't have kids.
Right.
You know, my sister met her husband in her mid-30s and he didn't have children and they were able to, date and do all that and now they're planning their family planning, but I'm saying like, how can we help blended families bond, like with that person that may not have kids, or if it's a blended family and a blended family, how do you do that?
I think it depends on the age
Psychology.
group of the kids.
Go see a psychologist.
Therapy is on the age group.
Therapy
of the
will
kids.
do wonders for people.
Yeah.
I think it's empathy, right? So I have had that. I've lived the experience, right? So although I could have felt like she was stepping over her boundaries with my relationship, with my husband, with my whatever, I did consider her feelings as a woman where we do have situations. Maybe I caught too many feelings too fast, and maybe it was something that was temporary that should have remained temporary that didn't. But at the end of the day, this is a woman that has emotion, that has children. So I would do things like, and it was unheard of, I would do things like, when my daughter was like 3 months, it's ghetto, but it's okay. I would take a Kool-Aid package and create the little color and footprint her and send it on a card to her mother and say, "I'm so happy that you're my mommy." Now she know good well the 3-month-old is not right.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I don't want you to feel like I'm trying to change,
Or take away precious
Right. So
moments.
I think a lot of it is empathy and learning to walk in that way. At least that's what I think.
Yeah, that's true. Because I have a friend that they both brought in children together, and one of the things that I absolutely love that my friend does is that she never takes a family picture. Like they do professional pictures every year. She never takes a family picture without the one daughter that doesn't live with them.
I failed
And
that.
they literally rearrange their their whole schedule
Bad mom,
for her to
bad
be part of
mom.
it, because when she comes to that home,
Yeah.
they want pictures of her up. They want, you know, and that also makes her feel like I'm part of the family, even though I don't live here.
Oh, that's
Oh,
convicting.
wow.
That's
really
convicting.
sweet. That's
Then get
really
on it, girl.
I'm on it.
Oh man, I don't know.
This
I
Christmas,
don't
you
know.
guys
This
will
is
see a
tough.
card with all
This
of
is tough.
Right? Send us that
tough.
Christmas card.
Oh boy.
What about you,
This is
Nicole?
tough.
Like-
I don't know. This is tough because I'm thinking how my children would fit into someone else's world. It's hard because they've been under me for so long,
And they're older.
and for them to have other people around, they're gonna look at them like, ooh, mom, this is not
Ain't
looking
my
good.
day.
Yeah, and I have to really be selective, and I know the Lord is gonna send them, so I don't have to worry about that. But at the same time, I just have to teach them to be respectful, teach them to honor, and teach them to stay princesses.
How about let's not break the marriage, right? So how do you keep a marriage together? What do you guys think about the whole old school thought that you stick in it for the children?
I think about that, and I go to scripture with that, where the Lord knew that divorce would be a mess. So that's why he said, don't divorce unless your spouse passes away, because he saw all the confusion in that.
Were you ever married?
Never married.
Okay.
I saw the confusion before when he asked to marry me. I was like, pathetic.
Now, I will have children, but I will not marry you.
Well, you gotta have these kids. But no, I saw he probably wouldn't be a good provider. I saw that. And you may watch this and think, Nicole, that's what it was. But
How many kids are there?
Truth will set you free, honey.
Yeah.
Now. Three kids later,
no, let's take it. No, I have 2 kids that I birthed, but I adopted my younger daughter. She's my little sister. So that's my dad's daughter. So
Okay.
we had 2 children.
Okay.
And so even just telling her how she came about, it took time, you know? So you have to ask, I'm a Christian woman, so you have to ask the Holy Spirit to lead you in mostly all your conversations, if not all.
And I think one thing we need to think of too is like, until we put ourselves in that situation, because I was one that said, I'm never getting a divorce, you know,
Yes.
until you're in that situation,
You don't
until
know.
you just don't know what you would do.
Exactly.
And I think that with blended families, that's the drawback, is that no one ever says, I'm gonna have a kid, but I'm not gonna stay with you.
Yes.
You know, like the people have their good intentions, you know?
Yes.
As always, thank you guys for the great conversation. We want to hear from you. Come chat at us.
Yes.